Hey, boys and girls, welcome back to Bell's Mopar Garage. I'm going to replace the lower control arm bushings for that B5 Blue Challenger. You can see the rubber's shot in this. So I bought a set of urethane bushings. Now they're a little easier to install, and I'll show you why when we get to it. Here's one of the urethane bushings, but it doesn't come with the sleeve around it. And here's an OEM one that has a sleeve around it. These are easier to put in because you leave the old sleeve in the control arm, and this bushing goes inside of it, just like that. So, let's set this up on the press here. We use a little extension to push the press out. I gotta get my handle over here. All right. They come out fairly easy because you're just pushing on the rubber. There's your pin. We gotta get the sleeve here off of here. I believe. Maybe not. Okay, so we're just gonna clean that up. Leave that sleeve on there. That's a nice tight fit. All right. You got to dig all this rubber out of here. Let me get the other bushing. Let me get the other control arm. All right. And there we go. Let's go over here on the bench. So this car did not have a sway bar in it when I bought it. I bought a Hotchkiss setup for it. And I have one lower control arm here that has the mounting point on it for the stabilizer links. So I'm going to clean this rubber up, and then we'll be welding those on there. I've got this one out just for reference. Put this over here. So we'll get what's left of this bushing out of here. Pops right out. Do this one too. This one's really shot. And there you go. You just go in here, I put a little grease on them. If you don't put grease in there with the urethane bushings, they squeak and they pop. So I think we'll weld these tabs on now, on these two guys here. You can see the difference in the shine. Got two different kinds of primer. You know, this is an epoxy primer as well as this, but it looks different because it is. I'm going to take this over to the wire wheel, clean this up a little bit, do the same thing with this one. Okay. So this one here is a twin to this one. We're going to locate that stand just like that on this one here. It's right next to the rivet here, pointed that way. Call it angled a little bit. No, that's wrong. Got it upside down, as Mauricio Carly would say. It's upside down. And off the top, about a 1/4 inch. There's no left and right here, right? It is different than that one. This stand is higher. And I guess it'll work. That's the problem with aftermarket stuff. Okay. A little angle there. I'll call that good right there. Let me get my little belt sander, clean that up a little bit. All right, pair of vice grips over here. Need a ground for the welder. Cock this here a little bit. All right, helmet. Move it over a little bit. Helps if you turn the welder on. Get it tacked in place, make sure I like it. Take a little more. Alright, I think I'll do both sides, just because. Alright, some nice welds there. The other one. Alright, make sure we get this going the right way here. Alright, we need to get it ground. You put the vice grip on it and give it a little twist. It'll bite through the paint or whatever you got on there. Knock it back a little bit. That's what we did, right? Yep. Okay. I'm happy with that. Okay. A little bit in here. And that's that. Okay. So here I am again. You saw me take the old factory bushings out of here. I pressed in these urethane ones here. They go together pretty easy, but you do need a press. You leave the sleeves in the control arm and also on the stub here. Put the bushing in the sleeve first, and then you got to press this into here. Make sure it goes all the way inside. That's the only thing that holds it in. And lube it up. Lube it up because it'll squeak and pop and do all sorts of stuff that bothers me anyway. I know that. Right. So this control arm goes in on the back side here, and you've got to put the strut rod on there. And we got our new bushings here for the strut rod. There's an inner and outer on these guys, just so that you're aware of that. The inner one has the rubber sticking out, and make sure that you still have a bushing on there. That sleeve right there, you need that sleeve. They used to come with the new kits, but they don't anymore. So this goes in here. Take the nut off first. And then you put this up here as one piece. Put that guy in there. To the front, just like that. There's a washer that goes in here. I'm just going to put this nut on here for a second to hold this together while I put this short rod bushing together here. Make sure the nub sticks out the front. Bushing in there like that. All right. You can tighten these two up here. Get a socket for that. 7/8. 15/16. 15/16. Yep. Here's your hole for your roll pin. Crank up on it so the bottom's out. Got this back one up here. Okay. Find the washer for front here. start talking. So very important here. This nut here, you're gonna leave it loose till you put some weight on the car. And especially important with the regular, the standard bushing, the stock bushings, because you got it tight, you push down in the car, it's gonna rip the bushing. Do this other side now. New bushing, make sure the sleeve's on there. Put some spools on here. Got it backwards. Almost. Where's my nut? That. We'll assemble the K-frame here. I just put the tie rods, the idler arm and the pitman arm back on it. Putting the upper control arms on it. Putting the disc brakes on it. This is almost ready. This is a big piece of the puzzle.